Yes, Mr. Glazer, I think the transformation into only English players has gone okay so far. Yeah. I'm not sure the fans love you for it. Well, mate, if you don't know why, I'm not sure I can help you. Yes, I'll make sure the club secretary transfers that £50 million into your personal account immediately. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to England Only Manchester United for episode 3. And today we're going to be playing, we begin our Champions League campaign. We'll get off to the draw for that in just a second. And we're also going to have a Premier League game against Burnley. But the big news is that the transfer window has closed. You can see here we had 2 of the top 4 transfers in the Premier League. We spent quite a bit of money, almost 400 million in the end. Now, some of those obviously were the real-life transfers for non-English players, so we ourselves haven't spent quite that much, but we have spent a lot of money. And before the deadline closed, we were able to get 4 more signings in. So let's go and have a look at who we signed. First up is one for the future. It's Nelson Abbey. We signed him 300,000 from Reading with the potential to go up to 750,000, I think. The plan here is just to try and get some youth players into the club. We need to have, obviously, youth teams coming through, or youth players coming through the youth teams, I should say. And he was much higher rated by the scouts. He might need to sack some scouts, I think. But he's not too bad physically. Is he going to be good enough for Manchester United on this form? Probably not, but we should be able to sell him on for a profit, so I'm not too concerned. But yeah, he's come in, but we won't see him hopefully we won't see him this season. That'll be an injury crisis, won't it? The next man we got in is Andy Carroll. Now, he was a free transfer, 12 grand a week. What he does do very well. He's good in the... Well, you know what Andy Carroll does. It did seem a little bit of a no-brainer. It's just a 1-year deal. I think, is it a 1-year deal with the option? Yeah, with the option of an extension if we want to extend him. I don't really see a downside to it. It's squad depth. And like I say, what he does do it well. So Andy Carroll is a Manchester United player. And there's something you never thought you'd hear. Next up on a permanent deal is Ronaldo Vieira. Now, if the name sounds familiar, it's because he's named after 2 very famous players, but also he was at Leeds United. So we won't hold that against him, being Manchester United, of course. But he is, again, he's a Premier League ready player. And we've signed him, it was 5 million, a little bit less, a little bit more than that, almost 6 million. The fee does potentially rise up, you can see that, to almost 18 million. That is for winning Premier Leagues and things like that. I suspect by the time we get to that point, he may well be on his way. But 6 million, even if, you can see what his potential value or his value is right now. Another one we should be able to sell on to a lower Premier League side for quite the profit, even as soon as this coming off season. So he's joined us from Sampdoria. So that's and Tim in, I should say, and one more. And I've got to confess to never having heard of this guy, Steffi Mavadidi. Apparently he's English. He's a striker and he's above average, isn't he? He's quite good. He's just very well-rounded, and he will provide good depth for the likes of Kane and Rashford, and I guess, well, he's probably ahead of Andy Carroll, to be fair. Apparently he came through at Arsenal and then went to Juventus, and we got him from Montpellier on loan. So now, do we have an option to buy him? No, I don't think we don't. But maybe we do. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's here on loan for the year, and I think at 6 grand a week, he's an absolute steal on loan. He will legitimately provide depth for us in the Premier League. So yeah, those are the new guys we got in. I think we've done okay. But, the proof will be in the pudding, won't it, as we get through the season here. Now, before we do anything else, let's go head off to this Champions League group stage draw and see who we've got. So here we go, Champions League group stage draw. We're one of 8 teams seeded second in the draw, so that's not bad. As long as you're in those first 2 pots, then you are every chance of getting out, aren't you? So the top seeds here are Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Villarreal, so on the Europa League now, Villarreal, Sporting Lisbon as Portuguese champions, City, Chelsea, Inter, and Lille. Actually, I reckon you're almost better off in the second pool because you avoid getting the likes of Barcelona, Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain. I'd definitely rather be in the second pool this year. So let's just skip through this. There's no point drawing it out because there's nothing to draw onto yet. So as I said, you've seen the second seeds here. So Real Madrid, Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, Sevilla, Barcelona, ourselves, Liverpool and Dortmund. Now we won't be able to get Manchester City, obviously, but everybody else there is fair game. Now in real life it was Villarreal, wasn't it? As long as you avoid, we can't get Chelsea either, as long as you avoid Bayern Munich, it's not the worst, is it really? Would you rather Lille? We can't get them. We get Villarreal again. Is this going to be rigged? Is this the real life groups? No, because Liverpool's in a group with Atletico, aren't they? So it's not real life groups. Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain. You'd hate to be one of the teams coming into that group, wouldn't you? The third tier side. So we have Porto, RB Leipzig. You'd rather avoid them. They're a dangerous side. Red Bull, Salzburg, Zenit, Ajax, Benfica, who you'd rather avoid. Atalanta, who are a dangerous side. And Besiktas. Turkish teams are usually not the best, so we'd probably like to get them. But let's see who we get here. We've got Villarreal and Benfica, and that's looking a tricky group, isn't it? You'd back us, I think, with our first team anyway, to have the better of those two. But it certainly could have been better, couldn't it? Fourth seeded teams. Dynamo Kiev, we've got Slavia Prague, Club Brugge, Ludogorets. We've got Zagreb, Monaco, Milan, and Wolfsburg. You'd rather avoid the last three there, wouldn't you? If I was picking Dreamland, you'd probably like to have a Bulgarian side. Slavia Prague maybe wouldn't be the worst. Get those racists smashed up a little bit. So it's Club Brugge. Again, another tricky side. I think they've shown that in real life, haven't they? I think they took points off Paris, didn't they? I think they got a 2-2. So it's a group that I think we should get through that. Really, let's be honest. We should get through that, and then we'll kind of go from there. So the first game today is going to be one that we should win. It's against Club Brugge. It's away from home. But before we get to that and the league game against Burnley, which will precede it, we have to catch you up on some other games in the league. The first of which was a tricky one against West Ham. The only goal came in the first half when Aaron Ramsey picked out Harry Kane. So a really, really good result against a strong West Ham side. We did deserve the win, although you can see XG, it wasn't a great game. We just never really were able to kill him off, to be honest. But Ramsey making his debut in midfield did brilliantly. And Kane got his first goal for the club. I think it's his first goal for the club. He didn't score against Leicester, did he? So that was good to get him off and running. And a big 3 points on the road. It's a weird one, isn't it? I don't really know how we're going to go. So any wins we get are very good wins as far as I'm concerned. The other game to catch you up on was against my club, Aston Villa. So let's see how that went. We took a first half lead when Lingard's cross was turned into his own net by Ashley Young. Tamori made it 2-0 before Ings pulled one back for Villa. So a big win, because if you've been with the channel for a while, I'm convinced that subconsciously I want to lose to Villa because I don't do very well against them. But we did in this one. We actually struggled to kill them off in a game we dominated. And but it was another good result. It was a very similar team. Now, of course, as we head into European fixtures, we're going to have to rotate a little bit more, and that, I think, is where the challenge is really going to start and set in for us. But a very good start to the season, 3 wins from 3, and we have a look at what that means for the league table. Arsenal have already played their 4th game, but they are sitting at top with 10 points. It's ourselves and City that are there. Chelsea have played 5 games and are below us. Liverpool have lost a game already as well. So we're looking decent, I would say. But like I say, this is now the time of the season where the squad depth will be tested. And our first game being here against Burnley. Where are Burnley? They're sitting there, a win, a loss, and a draw from their 3 games. Let's hope we can add a second loss to that one. And that Champions League group, it looks a little bit better every time you see it, doesn't it? Let's have a look, though, here against Burnley at what we're doing. We're expecting the old Sean Dyche 4-4-2 from them. And this is a team we're sending out. Now, my thought in picking this team so I can defend it in advance is we need to do well in the league. Champions League against Club Brugge, we should be able to win with a lesser team anyway. So we're putting out the stronger team in this one, albeit with changes. So it's going to be Henderson in goal. It is Shaw, Tamori, Holgate making his debut, and Wan-Bissaka at right back. Ronaldo Vieira, he has played a game. I believe he played a game, didn't he? I think I played him. He came off the bench, I think, against Villa. So he starts as a deep-lying playmaker. Bellingham and Loftus-Cheek continue in midfield. Greenwood as a Roman Serbian, bringing him off the bench in that role, and he's looked quite good. So he's going to come in with Sancho. Now, obviously, that means we're going to be playing with not much width up front. We're going to be relying on Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, and they've been getting forward well for us. Kane will be the striker for this one, and we've got potential first looks at Carroll and Viti, which will, whatever his name is, which will actually be a debut, and Mengi is on the bench as well. All right, so we can see the team sheets there. It's a very Burnley-looking starting 11, isn't it? Yeah, hopefully we'll do okay. We've been on a good run lately. I can just about get on board with that. And I really do hope we get the result here because I'm somewhat sacrificing Europe to get it. All right, and here we go. At home to Burnley. It's the sort of game that we should win, but we know from Burnley, don't we? They're a tricky team, and it's the sort of game that it's very easy to slip up in. So now the window is closed. Let me know how you think we'll get on this season. If I'm completely honest, I mean, we were never going to have a team that could challenge the North Fronts. I think we're going to be okay where we play our first team. So if we play the first team in the bigger games, Tomori just wide, or was it Kane? I think we could just about do okay in the league. I think I'm relatively confident we can get top 4. It's how far we get in Europe, and if what we do in Europe is going to be good enough for the board. Here we go with Bellingham. Vieira! Ronaldo Vieira, claimed by Pope. But yeah, it's going to be a tricky one, and it's going to be a case of needing the likes of Loftus-Cheek, who was looking nervous. We're going to need those sort of fringe players to really do a job for us and play well. And some of that's going to depend. Oh, Tomori's done brilliantly to head that ball away. It's wide for Greenwood, nice and early. Kane's in the middle. Can Mason Greenwood do something? He's got players getting forward in support. He goes to Harry Kane, and he's hit the post. Oh, that needed to go in. It didn't need to go in, but it should have gone in. And well, we're looking okay here, aren't we? Yeah, I do feel a little bit better having got those sort of, well, not so much the, what's his name, Nelson Abbey. He's not going to be one for this season, if ever. But I do feel a little bit better. We've got a little bit of extra depth in midfield now, I think. And what's his name? And Vididi is a good backup at striker as well. So I think we do have that little bit of extra depth that we probably desperately needed. I started training Isaac Hayden as a right back. I think he's a very, very good right back there. So we'll hope that he develops in that role for us. I think he could actually be a Manchester United standard player as a right back, funnily enough. Here we go, Mason Greenwood to Shaw. Shaw has a go. It's bouncing around Shaw again, and Luke Shaw has a first of the season. And just like the European Championship final, he has given us a first half lead, although a little bit later than what he scored in that final. And on the right side of the pitch as well. But Burnley got it away. It's a very un-Burnley goal to concede. First attempt was no good. Had him another go. It was on his left foot, I think. Yeah, on his left foot. And he has buried it for a first goal for the season. Let's give them some praise. And we sit atop the league, albeit we're not quite at half time in this one, but come on, boys. Can we win that back? Wan-Bissaka is a little bit out of position. Loftus-Cheek pounces, though. Kane, wide to Greenwood. He's looking very, very good out there, isn't he? Wan-Bissaka gets forward. Can he play in Greenwood? He can. Can Greenwood, what can he do? He cuts back to Bellingham, to Vieira. He takes several touches. Where's he going? And he goes down. Is that a penalty? If it is, it's a very, very soft penalty. It's silly from Westwood. And, well, as a Villa fan, I can vouch for the fact that he does do some silly things. He actually doesn't, does he? He just doesn't pass the ball forward. What's going to happen here, though? Give it, ref. Give it. We would love a chance to go 2-0 up before the break. It would all but kill it off, wouldn't it? And it is given. All right, Harry Kane, is he stepping up? Who's our penalty taker? It is Harry Kane. Can Harry bury what would be his second goal of the season right at the end of the first half? Kane. He does, and it's 2-0, and it is a very, very, very good start to this game for us. Sancho only playing a 6.4 is disappointing. Bellingham and Cheek in midfield are not, or Loftus-Cheek in midfield are not quite gelling the way I'd like. Well, none of the three of them are. They're all playing 6-6. And we come back for another highlight. Now, what we don't want, having gone 2-0 up, is giving them away back into the game on the stroke of half-time here. Can we win this ball back and get them for a third? Bissaka wins it back brilliantly. And here we go. Kane making a run through the middle. Wan-Bissaka's picked him out. Kane on the fall. Oh, he's offside, is he? The linesman standing still. No, he's let's given. It's a stunning strike from Harry Kane. I thought for sure he was going to... The Wan-Bissaka's done brilliantly. What an assist that is as well. Won the ball back, looked up. Perfect into Harry Kane's stride. And, oh, it doesn't even need a touch. And that is unstoppable. And it is 3-0 before the break. And... well, maybe now we can start resting a few players for Europe. Kane on a hat-trick. It's difficult to take him off, isn't it? So we'll leave him out there. Well, first of all, there is... no performance drop, please, boys. And who's on the bench that we could potentially want to give some game time to here? Let's leave it for now. We can have a think about it as the second half plays out. I'm thinking Mengi, it might be a good opportunity to give him a debut. At 3-0, you'd like to think... I mean, he's not a useless player. He's a very decent defender in his own right, and it would be maybe a good game to give him a little bit of game time in. And it would probably make sense to take Tomori off, given that he has played the more football. The other one maybe is Luke Shaw, who I think had a heavy match load coming into this one. We do have Mola on the bench, who could go on and play left back. So that might be something worth doing. The other thing, it might be a good game to continue Isaac Hayden's development at right back. Wan-Bissaka and Greenwood, they look elite so far this game, don't they? Here we go again. Bellingham back to Wan-Bissaka. Vieira's in space if we can find him. There it is. Vieira takes a touch and it's deflected behind. We might wait to 60, 65th minute, somewhere around there, and then look to make the change. The other one we could do is in Vendidi as on that left-hand side where Sancho's struggling and Bellingham gets a header away. But he can't keep it down. And we've got an injury to Loftus-Cheek. Let's get Harry Winks on for him in that little bit more of an advanced role. Let's try Winks as a box-to-box. Yeah. What we don't really have is a good left-footed winger. What's Shortire? Is he left-footed? No, he's right-footed as well. Which is a shame, because it would be good if we could get sort of some natural width going there. Shaw with a ball in, and Tomori, who's already scored one from a free kick, nods it just over. Here we go again. Kane to Greenwood. It's a wonderful ball, and Greenwood can't beat Nick Pope, who has had a decent game in goal for them, hasn't he? Shaw with the corner. Decent. Bellingham is there again, and again he just can't quite keep it down. All right, let's take Shaw off. Let's get Mola on. That's 2 subs. And all right, let us do the final sub. I am going to give Mengi a game. I'm relatively confident the game is won. How can he go as a ball player? He's got passing of 11. Let's maybe not. He doesn't have the vision, does he? So let's just get him as a regular defender. And yeah, well, that'll be another debut that we've handed out. Mavididi, I think we might play him in Europe. We'll give him his debut in Europe. We'll rest Harry Kane for that. And here we go, Bellingham. Can Bellingham finally get that first Manchester United goal? And the answer was obviously no, he can't. Holgate, who's looked solid on his Manchester United debut as well. Bellingham, Greenwood, he looked like he was offside and he was. Oh, it's been a foul. Greenwood. Oh, Mason Greenwood with a first of the season. That is a stunning free kick, and it's 4-0. And this All England Manchester United side are looking very, very good in the league just now. We haven't really been tested. Leicester and West Ham are good teams, but you wouldn't say that they're title rivals. But we're brushing aside the teams we need to brush aside just now, and we're looking quite good doing it, which I guess is part of brushing them aside. Holgate with another good header away. He looks like he's just slipped right into that defence and looks at home, doesn't he? Mengi misses his header, but Mola's there to clean up after him. Here we go with Sancho. Could we get a fifth? Vieira, wide for Greenwood. I think despite Harry Kane's double, Greenwood's man of the match, isn't he? He's looked absolutely superb, and that's a stunning win. 4-0, the biggest of the series so far, and far and away our best performance as well. That we'll say, yeah, don't get complacent, but that was really, really good. So we can see the other results there. Arsenal have beaten Chelsea with only 10 men. What is going on at Chelsea this season? Spurs have dropped points as well. Liverpool have won, and Manchester City haven't played. So Kane sends Manchester United top. The Loftus-Cheek injury is 3 to 5 weeks. Not the ideal time of the season for that to happen, really, is it? But guys, there we go. Holgate on debut looked good. So it wasn't Mengi's debut. He must have already played. Anyway, wait right there. We will be back to begin our Champions League campaign against Club Brugge. Alright, welcome back. We're getting ready to begin our European campaign, but some big news. I asked the board for an increase in the transfer budget and they've delivered. 41.7 million we have. So I think between now and the next transfer window, even moving towards the end of the season, to be honest, what my plan is to use that for is just try and pick up bargains where we can. So if someone is transfer listed, if there's young players that I think it could be a bargain, I think that's what I'm going to try and use that for, rather than go in for one big player at say 40 million, is just continue to build squad depth, because I think that's what we need. And then we've also agreed to increase the academy coaching, so that's exceptional now, which is good. If we look at facilities, that should just about exceptional in terms of the youth stuff, and then we'll just try and upgrade the facilities as we go. We'll do it at the end of the season, I think, to try and get state of the art, but that shouldn't be, I would imagine that won't be a problem to get that upgraded, though with the Glazers, I guess you can never be sure, can you? But let's go and have a look and see what we're doing here in the Champions League. Now, good news is that Villarreal and Benfica drew their opening game, so that means they've both dropped points, which is excellent. If we can get a win at Club Brugge, then everybody will be happy except for Club Brugge and everybody else in the group, I imagine. We're expecting an attacking 4-2-3-1 even from them, and this is a team we're sending out. It is new look, that is for sure. Phil Jones isn't really fit, so we won't play him. We'll go with Mengi in there. We've got an extended bench, so that is why there are so many players on the bench. But it's Henderson in goal. It is Taylor. Now, of course, he couldn't play against Burnley because that's his parent club. So his debut for Manchester United will be in the Champions League. So good luck, Charlie. Mengi will make his first start, and he's going to be next to, is he club captain? I think Maguire's club captain, isn't he? Or was it Kane? Anyway, he's going to be next to one of the leaders in the club, Maguire, and Isaac Hayden is going to play right back for us. As I say, I think there's a very good right back in there. Mola is going to be the defensive midfielder for this one. It's going to be Harry Winks as the advanced playmaker. He's going to be next to Aaron Ramsey in midfield. He looked very, very good against West Ham, was it? Yeah. Lingard and Mavadidi is going to be as the inverted winger there. And it's going to be that man, Andy Carroll, going up top as a target man. Let's see what he can do. All right, we can see the team sheet, some familiar names. Mignolet is there. I keep forgetting he went there. Jack Hendry, of course, for our Scottish friends. Wesley, formerly of Aston Villa. He's out there on loan. And Providence, which is a great name. Bastos as well. That's one of the greatest names in football, isn't it? Bastos. All right, what do you want to say to this? Where the favourites for the reason go out? Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably what we need to say. We are a big team that should be beating Club Brugge, although the actual 11 we've put out will probably raise some eyebrows. Aggressive Andy Carroll. You'd love to see that, don't you? Not sure if I was being sarcastic there or not, to be honest. We'll see what we get out of Andy for this one. Hopefully not a red card for elbowing a defender in the face. But you never know. That's the excitement of Andy Carroll, isn't it? You just don't know what you're going to get. I'm curious to see what Mavadidi can do. Partly just because I've never heard of him. Let me know if you'd heard of him before. As I've said previously, I think it was on this series. It may have been on Queen of the South. But, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I certainly follow football. And to sort of not have heard of a player that is Premier League quality, I especially English, because you tend to hear of them more, obviously, it just really surprises me that, I've let myself down there, haven't I? I forgot to take Phil Jones. Oh, we've got other defenders there. That's fine. All right, here we go. Taylor to Mola. Back to Taylor. Ramsey, maybe a little bit out of his depth here. It's a little too soon for him, but as I say, did well against West Ham, so we'll give him a chance. Good ball there to find Hayden getting forward. Tackled away, but he keeps the ball. Dinks out across towards Andy Carroll, and a warm-up there for him. Mignolet with a simple save in the end. Henderson gets it forward. but I'm not really sure where that was aimed at. I mean, Andy Carroll's pretty easy to see, isn't he? He's the tall guy with... Oh, he doesn't have long hair anymore, does he? Oh, what is that from Isaac Hayden? And he gets away with it. Let's encourage them. And, well, let's see what we can do with this highlight. Mengi comes forward. Ramsey to Mavididi. Carroll holds it up. Oh, good ball from Ramsey. For Mavididi on the breaking through. Can he find the finish? He's gone a long way. Lets the defenders get back. But what about that first time pass from Ramsey? Winks with a corner. Where's Carroll? Maguire's there, and Maguire launches it into the fans behind the goal. We've got a few set-piece threats, don't we, with Carroll and Maguire getting forward. Let's just keep encouraging them. A couple of them are looking nervous. Here we go, Isaac Hayden. Mola, back to Hayden. Can he get that cross in? He can. It's a good one. It's Madidi, and it's just over the top. We're closing in, but we still don't have that goal. It's, I guess, a potential banana skin, this one, away from home to Club Brugge, who are usually a decent side, aren't they? But still, it's, I mean, a side, obviously, that you would expect us to be able to beat, and that, I'm not sure what that is. The defence has parted like the Red Sea. And we'll see on the replay exactly what's happened here. Maguire looks quite guilty, doesn't he? I'm not quite sure where he's going. Mengi is... Yeah. That's not great, is it? Might need to do some defensive shape. All right, Maguire on the ball. Winks. Forward for Ramsey. Forward there for Carroll. Turns. Lingard. Lingard out there for Hayden. He's got time and space. Can he pick out his cross? He goes back post. And Mavididi. Again, straight into the goalkeeper's hands. And that is half-time, and we are 1-0 down in a game that I feel like we've been the better team, even if we haven't maybe. We will we'll have a bit of a go at them. We've got to be better than that. We say we'll have faith. And we'll get back out there and see how we start the half before we panic and make too many changes. It might be one. I wonder if Mavididi up top and taking Carroll off is something we could do. Mengi slides in, but just about gets away with it. The other option that we do have is, are we being a little bit too cautious playing with a defensive midfielder? Now, part of the reason we're doing that is just because it's a bit of a mismatch squad right now. But it could be. There's another good bit of play there. Lingard gets himself free. Back for Winks. Winks dinks it in. It is headed away again, and it's picked up by Taylor. Can Taylor whip the cross in? He does have a good cross on him. There it is. It's towards Andy Carroll. And, I mean, a lot of these guys haven't played much yet this season, so match sharpness is a bit of an issue. Ball in, and got away with one there. All right, so let's try raising the tempo. And let's try putting a bit more pressure on them. And let's see if we get an instant reward for that. Maguire comes forward, lumps it forward. Can Lingard win that back? No. What have we played? 53 minutes. There's a ball forward. Can Taylor get back? He can't. Oh, Jesus. There we go. I can't get that guy's name out. Mavididi. It's not difficult to say, but it's really got my tongue right now. Can Ramsey win that back? No. They look as though they've got control of the game just now, don't they? And if they score a second one, it would be some serious trouble. Taylor gets it clear. Ramsey heads it into space. I'm thinking we might go with a number 10 here. Henderson with a save for the cameras. They feel as though they've got the better of this game just now. And when we're lumping it forward like that aimlessly, I mean, if you're going to lump it forward, at least aim for Andy Carroll. That's what he's there for. And Hayden, in the end, did okay there, I think, to put a bit of pressure on that header. All right, changes. Okay, so we're making just the one sub. Mola is coming off. Shortire is going to come on and play the number 10 role. And we're going to move Andy Carroll back to target man on support. Just try and get the others around. Winks drops back to a defensive, or I should say a deep laying playmaker on defend. And yeah, we'll just see if having the more advanced player in midfield is something that works for us. It's looking as though it might be one of these games that we might need to bring off some of the bigger names from the bench and see if they can rescue this for us. There's just a ball over the top. It's a good tackle. Is it from Maguire? It is. And, all right. Save us, Harry. Come and save us. Where are you? Harry Kane off the bench. Complete forward on attack. And do we want Greenwood to come on for Lingard? Maybe we do want that as well. And as a Roman, though, please, and thank you, Mason. So that's our subs, I think, isn't it? I think you only get 3 in the Champions League, or do you still get the extra one? Or the extra 2, the 3 sub breaks with 5 players? Maguire. Come on, we don't really want to be losing our first Champions League game here, do we? Even if... Well, I mean, if we don't get out of the group, we're going to be in trouble of getting sacked anyway, aren't we? No matter what we do. Although we might get away with it. Ollie would have got away with it. Winks. Mavididi forward. Shortire brings it down brilliantly. Shortire hits the post. If we have another sub... We do have another sub, so let's get Bellingham on for Ramsey. 10 minutes to play. Oh, one for berating. I mean, as I say earlier, the one saving grace we have is that there's a decent ball for Mason Greenwood. Can he do something for us? He's held the ball up nicely. There's the cross in. Shortire. It's a second chance at it. Bellingham can't find Greenwood. And here come the Belgians. Isaac Hayden, can he get across? Get that block in, Isaac. He can't. Their false 9 is causing a little bit of problems, but he's also he's not getting in the best positions to score, is he? Greenwood wins it back. Over the top, Harry Kane picks it up. Mavididi is getting forward with him. Harry, crossfield ball. Where is a Shortire is there? Shortire's looked good since coming on, hasn't he? Shortire gets past his man. Greenwood, it's back post. It's Mavididi, and I think he's offside. Oh, he's robbed of a first Manchester United goal. How close was it? VAR is checking. It is disallowed. But how close was it? Is he? Oh, I mean, it didn't. It was close, wasn't it? Unlucky. Mengi, Bellingham, Shortire. I think if we've learnt one thing, we look better with a number 10. Mavididi with another chance. What can he do this time? Checks back. Oh, there's players everywhere. Mavididi! Oh, and it's almost an own goal. Winks with a corner. Can he find a teammate's head? It's a good one. Oh, we've hit the post again. Go away. Go away. Who put the magnet in the ball? Unbelievable. Focus, boys. Focus, focus, focus. We're running out of time, and it's untrue that we are behind in this game. Mavididi with a ball forward. Can we win that back? No, Winks not quite aggressive enough, was he? They've pinged that around nicely. Mavididi is tracking his man brilliantly. Does a really good job. Oh, and that is also off. There's definitely a magnet in this ball, isn't there? And are we going to fall to opening day defeat in the Champions League? Greenwood, can he rescue us? Mason, it's blocked. We've got 20-odd seconds. Taylor gets it forward to Greenwood. Mavididi goes down. We'll have another chance. It's a little bit further out. It's a worse angle. We're over time. This is it. Greenwood has a go. It's easy for Mignolet. And that is going to be that. We have gone to Club Brugge and we have lost. Albeit with a heavily rotated side. That's not an excuse though, is it? And thankfully, everybody else in the group, apart from Club Brugge, has dropped points. So we might be able to rescue the group. I mean, it's only the first game. We could always rescue the group, but far from ideal, and especially at a time where we'd like to be resting players as soon as possible to qualify. And you can make an argument we should have played a much stronger side in order to seal qualification as soon as possible. But there we go. Mavididi looked good on debut, didn't he? Shortire looked good. The back four didn't look too bad. Isaac Hayden maybe had a few moments, but he's still learning the position. But that was, yeah, we had a lot of chances. We should have won the game. That's almost worse, isn't it? So, Club Brugge battles to victory. Let me know what you guys think. It's a game we should have won. We were, briefly in that second half, I'd say we were second best, but overall we were the better team. And yeah, it just didn't happen for us, did it? So we find ourselves, but it's a very Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thing to do, though, lose away from home in a game like that, isn't it? Anyway, we're top of the Premier League. Let's cling to that for now. And yeah, that will do it for today. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I'm going to say maybe a lack of match sharpness hasn't helped us there with some players, but that'll be remedied now because we're well and truly into the swing of the season and we're going to need our entire squad to do the job for us. So we'll be back next time. I think what we'll do, we'll park the Champions League to one side because we've got Chelsea and Liverpool coming up, and that is huge. And then I think what we'll do is we'll come back. I suppose we've got a lot of our players, but I think what we'll do is we'll come back for City and Benfica then. And then we'll kind of see where we're at after that in terms of the Champions League group, and maybe a Bruges, Leeds, and Newcastle, Villarreal, given that Newcastle has pretty much our entire all our foreign players. So that's something what we'll do that upcoming episodes anyway. As I said, if you've enjoyed it, thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time for massive Premier League tests against Liverpool and Chelsea. Take care.